The regime in the laundries was relentless. The Magdalene penitents worked 6 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from early in the morning until late at night.
We were caged, and we were powerless to do anything about it. We had no recreation, anything, just work and prayer and silence and atoning for the sins, and how wicked you were. And they reckoned, they told us very often that Mary Magdalene was forgiven, so we would be forgiven in time.
We used to have to bow to the nuns every time that we saw them. And if a nun was coming towards you, you had to stand still, like to let her pass, as a mark of respect.
When you committed a small misdemeanor, you had to kneel down in front of the nun, and you had to say, "I am so sorry, Mother. Please forgive me. I won't do it again." And she graciously forgave you.
You see, the nuns, they were gods to you. You didn't dare question them. What they done was right, and you followed their instructions to the letter. You didn't dare. It was simple as that. You just done what you were told.
We were told that special friendships wasn't allowed in there. And the only thing that made you happy was the love of God. And to be detached from all things and people was a truly spiritual way.
In order to encourage them to forget their sinful past, the women were made to work in silence. But after 6 months in the Magdalene asylum, Christina Mulcahy had not yet given up hope of being reunited with her son and was desperate for news of him.
A young girl came in, and we're not supposed like to ask any questions of anybody, where they came from, or were they from the street, or what area they came from, or anything. Let them come in and not even be friendly with them, you know. This girl was sent to the section I was in. I said, "Did you come from the baby home, the mother and baby home?" And she said yes. And I asked, did she know about my little boy? And she said, oh, he was okay, and she knew him, and that he would soon be boarded out. And I went berserk, nearly went mad, and they wondered why I was crying. And she said to me one day, this nun said to me one day, why was I upset? And I said, I think it's coming to the time that my little baby will be either sent to a foster home or to one of these institutions where little boys are sent and they don't get treated well, you know. And I couldn't pass my views on, but I said when he was a baby that I didn't want him adopted, ever.
And the women there were absolutely desperate to find out where their children were. Absolutely desperate. And when they did say that the children was adopted, it was very sad. It was really very sad. Because all the girl could do was cry. That's all she could do. There was nothing else she could do, cry. A lot did have tantrums. They'd smash things up, smash windows, kick the machines, things like that. Some of the girls did get punished, and they used to get pushed about quite a bit, punched, slapped. The nuns had this black leather belt that was tied round their waist and hung quite to the ground, and they used to wrap it up in their hand and really hit you hard with it. They were very vicious, some of the nuns, very, very vicious.
The regime worked to break the remaining bond between the mother and the separated child. However, Christina was not a willing penitent.
I stopped working. I stopped. I went and sat down. I sat in the recreation room, and wouldn't come out of the recreation room. They asked me to leave the recreation room. I went and sat on the stairs. They locked the recreation room door, and I sat on the stairs. And it was then that the sister came up, and she had this belt around her, and the end of the belt, it was along like a strap. And she was waving the strap. You know, she was waving this thing about to get off the stairs and go to work. I said, you promised me that I go out to see my child. You promised me I'll go to work. You promised me I go to see my child. That's all I am asking. I'm a sensible person. I am not daft or crazy or criminal. All I want is to see my child. And she was waving this thing. I said, now, and she was coming closer to me, you lift your hand and hit me, I will kill you. I mean what I'm saying. And I felt that surge. I felt I would kill her. I tell you, I would have never seen my child because I'd have been put to prison. I wouldn't end up... they may have kept me there. But that's all I wanted, to see my child.
Limerick's Magdalene Asylum had an orphanage attached. Some of the children were those of the penitents, but they were kept in strict isolation from their mothers. Bridget Young grew up there in the 1940s.
We were not allowed to talk to the Magdalenes. We weren't allowed to look at them. No contact with them whatsoever, because we were made to believe that they were very, very bad children. There were people who were devils, they were sinners.
Sailor, soldier, sailor, rich man,